I'm John Gillespie. I'm the lead developer and designer of TorchShips. Like many of you, I've played and enjoyed many amazing space combat sims. Wing Commander series, TIE Fighter, X3, Descent, Privateer, and of course Free Space 2. But deep down, I think we all know that these games aren't really simulations of space combat. They feel much closer to flight simulators in the way that the combat is handled and in the distances involved. Most are based on first-person, out-of-cockpit views and flying craft that maneuver like airplanes in an atmosphere, not real spacecraft. We can all probably blame George Lucas for this, among other things. Star Wars taught us that space fighters are cool, and they fly like World War II bombers. And by all accounts, though, he in turn was heavily influenced by the film Dam Busters. And it hasn't all been airplanes in space. The sequels to Elite used vector-based Newtonian physics for motion. And I personally think that Independence War came the closest to giving us a good idea of what space combat could really be like. And TorchShips is my attempt to simulate what real space combat could be like in one version of the future, and make it fun at the same time.
TorchShips is a 3D tactical space combat game based on real physics with procedurally generated single and multiplayer missions. It will be released for Windows and Mac first, then later for the iPad. You start the game with a converted armed freighter, trading up to more capable ships as your campaign progresses. Your ship is powered by a gaseous core nuclear thermal reaction drive and armed with nuclear missiles, laser cannon, and a kinetic lance. You will maneuver in 3D space in a crowded gravity well and engage hostiles at ranges of up to 20,000 kilometers away. Note that this is a gameplay tech video and does not yet include our new models and artwork, but will give you a very good idea of the scale of TorchShips. All combat takes place in the game around a mass of some kind, from clusters of asteroids to a gas giant. In this scenario, we're near the planet New Brazil. The UI is centered on your ship. You can zoom out or in, and you can rotate the camera view. The planet and other mass points in the UI are to scale. The ships are not, they are exaggerated in size. Your ship displays a blue course line that predicts its future path. This can help you orientate and understand the effects of various maneuvers under thrust. Initially, your course line shows a straight drop toward the planet, so if we don't do something, pretty soon we'll be dead. So I'm going to yaw a bit to port and engage the main drive. Notice that our course line changes to show our course. The course line also shows the effects of gravity on our path. I'll shut the drive off. And note we can pitch. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can take a look at it. Jumping down. Yaw. And roll in any direction. With no effect on our course line, obviously because we're not under thrust right now. And that's the basics of maneuver in the TorchShip universe. Now let's look at an example of a combat. We're back at New Brazil. It's an independent world with no stations but some light freighter traffic. Our mission is to engage and destroy a freighter in high orbit. I've got several options to take out the freighter, but for this demo I'll show how to use the missiles. Missiles are launched by a railgun mounted on the central spine of your ship. The railgun can impart a lot of velocity to your missiles as they fire. This allows several interesting tactics. In this case, we'll create a salvo, adjusting the drift timer and launch velocity of each so that when they close on our target, they will hopefully overwhelm any point defense and destroy it. So first thing is let's change our course a little bit so we're closer to intercept course. Again, I'm using my course line. And I'm going to zoom in just so you can see what I'm doing on the launch. So I'm going to set the timer to 30 seconds. Drop the velocity a little bit. Launch 1. While it's reloading, I'm going to drop the timer. launch again. Change my attitude again and the timer. And one more time. Now I'll scroll back and I've got a flight of multiple missiles that are bracketing the freighter. They all light off on time, coming from different directions, which is going to make it really hard for a point defense to take them out.
We're going to use a successfully funded Kickstarter project to pay for the server and hosting fees for the multiplayer portion of the game during the beta test and initial launch, a Unity Pro team license, more professional 3D art and models, additional sounds and music created specifically for the game, development of additional levels and features, and for polish, fine-tuning, and gameplay balance during the beta. I develop commercial software for a living. I have dozens of applications in the App Store, including one that made it to top 10 lists in Apple's education category. I have a lot of experience completing large and small software projects on time and on budget. I'm excited about creating a real space combat game that is not only as physically accurate as possible, but it's fun to play, and I will deliver it on time and on budget. Together, I think we can make TorchShips a reality.